Good morning, World Wide Web. Well, early morning for me. Today I'm gonna animate the yokes, and now yeah, through this entire video, I've been trying to go with the smallest, and there's the yokes right on top, with the smallest, simplest code, right? And there it is. Uh, and unfortunately, in this case, and for the yokes, I'm gonna stray from my custom here. This is great, but it's only one yoke, and it's not obvious. It's fairly easy. You just change that to a two. Add something behind it, but it's not obvious how you would make that work on two yokes. And the other thing, there's one thing it's kind of it's not, it doesn't have, and that's the clickable hiding, ability to hide the yoke. And in some aircraft it's necessary, but even in aircraft that it's not. And let's be honest, people love hideable. They love clickables. Anything in the aircraft that they can click on it, it does something. Interaction is really cool. So I'm going to use this code, and it came to my attention that I keep saying, oh, I have the code in my notes, and I do because that's just easy. But where did I get this code? I didn't make it up. Trust me, I'm a scripter. I'm great at copy and paste, but I couldn't write all this to save my life. So where did I get this code? Well, I think I have mentioned on multiple occasions that I'm getting all my code out of the official folder. And in this case, and I tend to use the 152 or the Savage Cub. The 152 is superb because it's got all your basic gauges and stuff, right? Uh, as opposed to the 172, which has all the HTML stuff. So you gotta pick one that has what you want. And in this case, this one certainly has a yoke. So go in here and in this, and then we have to find the yoke. Now search, or in this case, they have it all. Look, they have it all lined out for us. And see, there's a fuel switch for us. And there's the code for a fuel switch. But here it is. Here's their yoke stuff. From there all the way to there. That's exactly what I have right here. I copied this out and moved it over here. Well, I take that back. I don't have these bottom parts, which are cabling, because I'm not setting up any kind of cabling. So we have just the yoke hider and the yoke part. These two sections. There's those two sections. And that gives you a handling yoke hider. It even gives you the AP can drive this anim. So if you turn the autopilot on, it'll actually operate your yokes along with the aircraft. But so that's where you get your code. You literally just pull it out of a default that has some. The only thing I'm really coming into an issue with that is when I wonder. Okay, I need to replace this. Uh, yeah, the only one thing that I've really kind of come into. Let's see, I don't know if I back this up. This is my. I've been keeping two sets of this project. One is I could do a dry run through what I'm doing. So this one's already got the animations that I'm about to do. I'll get rid of it. This one's the one where we left off from with very little touch up. Actually, I did fix a couple of things. The last video I did was the gauges, and I goofed a couple of them. So. All right, This will be the model we have. So first thing I want to go is go ahead and this time we'll do the coding first. I don't know where this is. This is the one we're using. So first thing I want to do is copy my borrowed code. And in this case, I actually added the comment to label it. So we'll add all of that. And I just put it at the top so we can find it. You don't necessarily have to do this. It doesn't matter if they're all like lined up or anything. But I like to keep everything consistent. Alright. So node, those are going to be the name of an object. Anything that says node is the name of an actual physical object. And what they do, and these are the names of your actual animations. But what's tricky about the yoke is that actually doesn't go on the node ID object. So let's so here's what you see, in other words, the animations go on these handlers, on these controllers. So let's get started. This is one handling yoke 1, handling yoke 2. So let's, I guess I should break these down a little bit. My notes, the way I notate things is two spaces indicates that this is an animation name. A full tab means that this is another object that's parented under the first one. So what we have is we have controller left right animation, and we have controller fore aft with an animation that's parent under it, and then the yoke is parented under both of them. It seems complex, and it is. That's kind of why I'm doing this as a single video, because it is a little complex. So we'll see how it works out. It's easier to kind of show, I think, than anything. All right. Now, first, my yokes are already separated, which is cool. So, you'll have to have that. If you're not already separated, you're going to want to do that. Then we got to get the first thing I got to do is get the pivot right, the origin. So maybe that's pretty dang good right there. All right. Slash key to get back to here. Slash will isolate it like that. So and unside. All right. So then now we need to add these two, and right there is where both of our controllers or empties go, or handler if you're working in 3D Max apparently. That's what they call them in the. And there's one. We'll go ahead and add them both, and then rename them, and then we'll find those under empty. Alright, so what we need is the empty names, which is handling yoke left right. And handling yoke fore and aft. So here they are. Now if we look at my data page, this fore and aft needs to go under the left right. So we'll select the 4.5. Control select the left right. And don't use the mouse keying. Use Control P. Keep transforms. Did I do it right? Half the time I get them backward the first try. Yeah, I got it right. And again, that's how I know this is a tab, so I know that's not a animation there. All right, now then we need to we need to well, first we need to set origin to, okay, it doesn't matter. We need to rename this, making it our actual yoke. Yoke mesh, there it is. Control V. Now we got all three of our parts right here at handling, if I can find them again. Alright, now that, so again we're gonna select the yoke, push Control, select this one, and then Control P, and we'll keep transforms. And there we go. Now that should look, handling yoke is under this one, is under this one. And that's what I have. Handling yoke is under this one, is under this one. Alright. Now we just need to set up these two animations. So we'll go back and we'll, you can set up either one, it doesn't matter. We'll select that one. This is a 100 bias, or 100 total with 50 bias setup, so we'll set it at 50. And I only really need rotation in one and location in the other, but I'm just going to leave that alone. And this is left to right, so I like to see make sure I'm moving things on the right, and I'm pretty sure, yeah. And so let's go about 30. I mean, you can go further. Let's go 40. Alright. Out. Okay, that was a test. You can go anything that looks good, or you know, that matches your rudder animation, whatever. I just go a little bit. The further you go with my yoke, and that's probably hardware specific, the yanky it gets when it gets out toward the end. And it's like it moves up. It's like it moves really slow, because I tested at 50. That's why I'm trying to go down a little bit, see if that helps. And it would move, you know, kind of slow until it got about halfway, and then it would jump to the outside. You know, and part of that's probably my hide. Well, I'm pretty sure it's my cheap joystick. All right, let's set it to 50, and we'll throw that up. And this is our left-right controller, so that's this one right here. Handling yoke, lever, stick, left, right. This you'll probably recognize is the same one that you use in the Jonx's video. It's the exact same actual animation name. We're just using the hideable code as opposed to the other. Alright, and then we want to set this one for the in and out. But we're going to disable this just so it's not goofing with us. And then we can go to this one. And again, we're already at 50. So we'll keyframe the 50. In is going to be first. In first, then left, right. Yep. That's why my notes are, you know, I love having the notes. It kind of puts all the stuff that I need extra. So we'll just push that in. Yeah, that looks good. Like I said, I'm not being real precise on this. Connect them linear. Go to 100. I'll just bring it out. Yeah, that looks good. And there. Okay. Go that to the animation. And what is it? This is 4.5. Right, 4.5, yeah. Control V. And that should do it. And when you turn them both on, I mean, it kind of looks funny, but that's what it should do in here. Okay, we'll set up the other one just like it. Last key. And how you get your center is just up to you. I mean, it's just, it's finding the easiest way to get it. Ooh, I think that's as good as I'm going to get. In other words, I wanted to, it'd be nice if this point were way back behind the dash, but it doesn't really matter so long as it's in the right rotational point, right? All right, so we'll add our two empties. And we'll close this one up. There's our left one. Over and find our empty. Same thing. Now we're just using this bottom. What we just created is that and that. These being the animations. So we'll copy. And we'll copy the other object name. And these object names, as far as I know, are not critical. I mean, I changed it to controller. They don't have that in any of the examples and so on. That's kind of my custom. And there we go. Now, according to my little roadmap, I need the fore and aft under the L left and right. So we select the fore and aft. Over here, if you want to select one more, you use Control instead of Shift. If you use Shift, it'll select everything in between. Normally, now this time it wouldn't matter. Yeah, it would. See, it would select this other one. So if I use Control, it'll only select the two. Fore and aft, into left, right. Is that correct? Yeah. And then Control P. Keep transforms. Question is left, right, fore and aft. Let's make sure that looks right. That's correct. Now we need the yoke itself, parented. I always forget to get rid of that. All right. So I'll select the yoke itself, and this time we're going to select with a control this bottom one. And Control P again. Okay, there we go. There's our parenting correct. We got the left, right, fore, aft, and all that, one under the next. So now let's set our animation. And again, I like to just do that to make sure I know what I'm doing. Or that I'm not, yeah, we're all up to fun. All right. And there's that one. We want 40 degrees. 40. Yep. Connect them. Good. Minus 40. Next. The parenting is the tricky part, or at least for me. That up there. This is left, right. Left, right. Here. Notice the actual handling and the animation names are actually the same. Using the same animations or animation templates for the left and the right, but we have to separate them by name. Okay, so controller, is that it? Let's just disconnect all of these. That'll fix it. So now we want to go to the handling for F controller, and just so I'm not messing up. Like this one tells me I'm using 4F. Now we'll set that to there. Inverse. These may not. I'm not. I should do these more precise, one to the other. Example. Now how lousy I am at modeling. Let's pull that out. These may not be 100% in sync. That's the fore aft animation. So save here. I'm gonna re-enable them all. That looks good. I mean, that's what it's supposed to look like. Alright. Hopefully that did the trick. Yeah, I mean that's these, and it, like I said, it looks. I didn't. Noted that that's a bias. Alright, that should do us. So let's save. Oh, no, there's one thing I haven't done here that I might as well go ahead and do. And that's I need to make a clickable hide spot. So you can click on it and hide it. And that's something new that we haven't, I don't think I've covered anywhere. So we're just going to make a cube. Start with, let's shrink it way down. Side here. Over here and do the first one. And this is using just a node name. So all you got to do is get it in there, make the cube the correct material or whatever, and name it right. It goes strictly by the name, so we just need a little box much smaller than that big, something like that. That'll work. And then we're going to put this somewhere on the dash. Make it worry about visuals because it's not going to be visible. But is what you probably want to not make it too big so that it's, you want them to be able to click or see if you have any of the tips or whatever. You want them to be able to use those from that. I could actually go a little closer. Right there. All right. Now, let's see. Texture. Do I have it? No. So we're going to create a new one. Just call it mouse clickable. And then we can go all the way to the bottom, and we're just going to set it for decal. Notice it disappears. Actually, oh wait, no, this has to be. This has to be a special name, the GTLF. Where did I have that? I'm just getting into these. Yeah, this needs to be this, I think. Set it to data. That may not be correct. I'm not even sure I have that. We're also going to make that 0. That's what makes it. There we go. Alright. We're going to name this Yoke Hider Node. And that should say key. Copy object, paste object, and this one. I'm not gonna swear I did those right, but give it a shot to start with, and then I'll figure it out if I didn't. Alright, now we can save. Write that down in my yoke thing, huh? Sure do. Hider. Yeah, I'm gonna add. I didn't write anything down on that step, did I? Amazing how many steps you can forget if you're trying to just write out a list of things when you don't really. I mean, you know, just do it kind of by memory. Alright, we're ready to boot up. I'm still, where's that pilot? I need this one to grab that real. Yeah, and I set that GLFT validator as a data block, but I'm not sure that's required. I mean, it's, as far as I understand it, you're using it as a data block. So why wouldn't you turn that on? It seems to work with it, and you know, it's one of those. I was testing a lot of different stuff. Now I'm kind of just getting what works. uh, you can spend forever testing one little piece of code, and you know, different ways. Just because you're watching the screen load screen so often. And I've even reset my settings. I'm on low settings. I normally run, you know, just under high. I set it with high and then drop a few things. I mean, it'll run on high. Just there's a couple of things I can kind of, you know, push up my performance just a little without really noticing in settings. So I adjust those down. But yeah, I'm actually in low settings thinking because I think one of the Jonx videos suggests it, and I'll try that. You know, you do tend to spend a lot of time staring right here, sitting right here, staring at things. Actually, I don't need to do any flying or anything. I just need to load in and see if my yokes move. I tried to set it up. This is one thing I did. Am I not loading? There we go. Where you could click on one hider. Well, I could now. I don't know. I was hoping I could set up one hider that would, you know, in other words, if you click to hide one yoke, it would hide both of them. But it didn't really work the way I wanted, so I haven't figured that out yet. They'll have to have two separate click spots. Well, the click spots aren't there, and the yokes work. Yay, and they're right. And now we have motion yokes. And look at that. Uh-oh, that one isn't working. I'll have to double check that one. I did something wrong. And I added this part down here to the. I'll have that next time. What did I did wrong? I don't know. Maybe that's it. I don't think it should be. It shouldn't have the OO stuff. And this is a data thing. I don't think it needs that. I don't know. I say I don't. I didn't code this. I just copy it. I can understand some of it, but let's try that again. As far as I know, those are the only things you got to do. Make sure this is the name and your texture. And like I say, I do set it to a data block. 100% certain that's necessary. I may have to build a new one. It may not work being copied like that. I don't know. I'm thinking in my test run, I just built two of them. Find out. This is test number one. And I may have to cut this off if I can't. If this doesn't work, I'll figure it out and I'll just leave some notation in the description. Figure out how I did it like I did on the other one. I'm gonna guess that if this doesn't fix it, I'm gonna guess that's the solution, is to delete that second one and just create one from scratch. Something got worked in the copy. If this, if resetting it the way I did the first one doesn't work, then that's gonna be my next option. Amazing how sometimes the simple things are what you think would be simplish. Like the door animation. I mean, here I have a trigger for hiding this yoke and everything. Now they do the hiding and all, with the templates, and they're hiding the mesh somehow. I'm not exactly sure how they're doing that. But, a door is, all I need is just a simple trigger, right? And to push my animations. And all the code I've found for that is nothing. I haven't found any simple code, put it that way. So I asked on one of the dev forums I'm in, and if anybody had any simple code, because what I have is pretty in depth, and I'm gonna have to sit here and figure it out so I can adjust it. It's only one code, so that's great if I want one door or multiple doors to open at once, but I need to be able to change that code slightly to get separate instances. Well, we're still not. I'm going to have to rebuild that one. This one works, but that one doesn't. So yeah, I definitely have to rebuild that. I either named it wrong, and I didn't catch it there. And I changed my things to white, so there, I don't know, I think I got those two needles backwards. Alright, well there's one clickable, and the other one will work. I just need to either I need to double check my naming on the node box on the click zone, and the other and if that doesn't work, I need to just rebuild it. Something about copying it, that data block doesn't work. It probably has some stored data that is for this one or something that doesn't work for a second. So anyway, I'm gonna close the video off, and I'll go ahead and fix that, and maybe leave a notation as to what the fix was in the description. But we got the yokes working there, and y'all have a wonderful day. I hope that helps somebody.